before Dylann Roof would walk into a church in North Carolina and kill 9 African Americans in 2015. Before Payton Grendron would walk into a grocery store and kill 19 African American shoppers in Buffalo, New York in 2022. There was Josph Christopher. Josph Gerard Christopher was an American serial killer who gained infamy for a series of murders in the early 1980s. He is believed to have killed at least 12 men and boys and wounded numerous others. Christopher's murder spree began on September 22, 1980, when he killed 3 black men and 1 boy in the space of 36 hours with a .22 caliber sawed-off Ruger 10-22 semi-automatic rifle concealed in a brown paper bag. These murders led to the media epithet of the .22 caliber killer. 14-year-old boy, Dylann was the first victim, shot outside a supermarket in Buffalo on September 22. Harold Green, 32, was shot the next day while dining at a fast food restaurant in Cheektowaga. That same evening in Buffalo, 30-year-old Emmanuel Thomas was shot while crossing the street to his home, only 7 blocks away from Dylan's murder. On September 24, Josph McCoy was shot to death in Niagara Falls. He committed 2 more murders on October 8 and October 9, both times bludgeoning his victims to death and then cutting their hearts out. The bloodied, beaten, and mutilated body of 71-year-old Parler Edwards was found in the trunk of his taxicab parked in Amherst on October 8. 40-year-old Ernest Jones was found in similar condition beside the Niagara River in Tonawanda on October 9. Jones's blood-spattered taxi was found 3 miles away in Buffalo. Colin Cole, 37, was attacked in a Buffalo hospital on October 10. A white man matching the description of the .22 caliber killer tried to strangle him to death. Cole said the man snarled, "I hate niggers" at him before trying to kill him. He was saved by the arrival of a nurse, and though severe damage had been done to his throat, he survived the attack. These initial murders went unsolved at first, and Christopher enlisted in the United States Army in November, being stationed at Fort Benning. He soon received Christmas furlough and arrived in Manhattan on December 20th, where, on December 22nd, he committed 4 more murders and 2 more attacks, this time stabbing his victims to death, thus earning the moniker of the Midtown Slasher. 25-year-old John Adams was stabbed at around 11:30 a.m., but survived. About 2 hours later, 32-year-old Ivan Fraser was attacked. He managed to deflect the blade with his hand, suffering only minor injuries. Luis Rodriguez, 19, was the first murder of the day. At around 3:30 p.m., he was stabbed to death. At 6:50 p.m., 30-year-old Anton Davis was stabbed to death. Around 4 hours later, 20-year-old Richard Renner was stabbed and killed. Finally, Carl Ramsey was stabbed with a knife while on the subway at around 11 p.m., and died from his injuries before midnight. Christopher then returned to Buffalo and fatally stabbed another black man, 31-year-old Roger Adams, on December 29th and 26-year-old Wendell Barnes in Rochester on December 30th. He committed 3 additional attacks in Buffalo on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, Albert Menifee, Larry Little, and Calvin Crippen, but all 3 victims survived. Christopher then returned to Fort Benning in January 1981. When back at Fort Benning, Christopher attacked a black soldier with a paring knife in what was described as an unprovoked attack on January 18. The soldier survived the attack and Christopher was placed in the fort stockade, where he attempted suicide by cutting himself with a razor. In a subsequent psychiatric session, he told a psychiatrist that he had to kill blacks. This admission caused Christopher's home to be searched by the police. There the police found evidence linking Christopher to 3 murders, which led to his indictment in April 1981 and his transfer back to Buffalo for his trial on May 8. He pleaded not guilty to the 3 murders and refused counsel by lawyers hired by his mother, opting instead to represent himself. He was subsequently found guilty and sentenced to 60 years in prison, but this ruling was overturned as the trial judge had barred the defense from presenting expert psychiatric testimony about Christopher's ability to stand trial. He was later found competent to stand trial, and appeared in court again in 1985 under various charges which led to him being sentenced to life imprisonment. While in prison at the Attica Correctional Facility, Christopher claimed that he committed 13 killings. He died in prison due to a rare form of male breast cancer on March 1, 1993, at the age of 37, For more of these fascinating stories and true crimes, subscribe to Charles Arness World. Thanks for watching!